Hi, I'm Katie Uhlmann reporting for TTN-HD Production Live, here with director-writer Chris Broadstone. Chris, can you tell me a little bit about your current work that you've been working on?
I'd love to. I've been working on 2 feature screenplays. As far as I'm concerned, they're ready to go. And I just really am looking for a good producer that can help me find that money that you need to make a real feature. And that's kind of it. I'm really just searching for that window of opportunity. And also a window of opportunity that won't be, oh, we just want to buy your screenplay and I'll see you later. But we've seen what you've done with your short films as a director and editor and producer, and we want you to come on board as director of these as well. Because I have had some actors who have read the scripts say, if I didn't see your films and I read these scripts, I would think there's no way anybody could make these movies. But knowing what I've seen you do, I know that you're the only person to make these films.
And what genre are you working in, and why are you the only person who can make these films?
Well, I default into the horror genre, although I'm really more of a thriller macabre kind of guy. I would say that the novel I've written is very horror, but my films are more Twilight Zone-y, that kind of a thing, which I think is a real crossover point. With one of my features, I've read it 1,000 times, but I have a friend in Moscow, I have a friend in London, both females. This is a very erotic thriller too, and they've read it and they love it. It's changed the way they look at love and sex and everything and death and you name it. So I think I have a lot to offer as a crossover point. I'm just trying to get that get the people in Hollywood to understand that, because they always want to pigeonhole you as the new slasher guy, the new Saw guy, the new this particular guy. So.
And you started with your novel, writing fiction, and then you transitioned into film. So can you tell me a little bit about the challenges with that, or if it was a smooth transition?
I would say it was not really. It was smooth in one way and not smooth in others, because I had started on the novel many years ago. I worked on it for years and years and years, trying to perfect it. And when I moved to Hollywood, I ran into a couple producers that had worked with Clive Barker and done a lot of horror stuff. And they read the manuscript at the time, because it wasn't published yet, and loved it. And I proceeded to try to write screenplays of it, to adapt it. And we went through many versions, none of which could please all 3 of us. And eventually it all went into the toilet. And I said, well, what am I doing here and why? And I said, well, I'm a film fanatic, right? Always have been. And I said, I think I'm going to try to see if I can make a short film, just to see if I can do it. Because, they didn't believe it. Everybody's like, oh, yeah, right, you've never done anything, you can't do it. So I tried, and it was a lot of hard work. It took me 2 years to get my first short done, and broke my bank, because it was shot on real film and edited it and done everything on real film, which is something that doesn't really happen today, especially when you're starting out. And then I finished it, and I thought it was great. A lot of people liked it. No festivals would touch it. They said it's a really well done film, but it's just couldn't possibly show this in our little town, So it took me a while. I made a second short, which eventually got in Shriekfest Film Festival here, and then it won a Best Of award. And then a month later, I flew to New York, because my first film finally was in a festival, and it won Best Short there too. And then suddenly I was okay in the world, which hadn't happened for several years. So it was like making these movies and getting nothing for it. So it was tough, and crossing over. And then I still hadn't got my novel out yet. And it wasn't until I got my 3rd film done. Actually, in the same year, I got my 3rd film out, and it was back in the New York Festival again. And I got my novel published as well.
Okay, well, congratulations, and I wish you the best of luck in the future, Chris.
Super. It's great to meet you.
Thank you. I'm Katie Uhlmann reporting for TTN-HD Production Live. Hi, I'm Katie Uhlmann reporting for